Today we're gonna make some Chinese food for the first time, in particular sesame chicken. And we're gonna compare that to your typical Chinese takeout. So let's go check it all out in this video. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and like I said, this is going to be the first time that I've ever made any kind of sesame chicken, and we're going to compare it to what you would get from your typical Chinese place. Now I have all the ingredients already kind of set out here. I have my stuff that I'm going to use to coat my my actual chicken, and then actually my ingredients also to do my sauce. And I'll have in the description a list of the recipe kind of that I'm using. The recipe I ended up getting from online, that was just a simple one that you can just find. There's tons of different recipes kind of deal. But in any case, I thought this was going to be a fun, cool thing to, you know, just do and just kind of go from there. So at least with the process, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is getting my chicken set up. So I already have my chicken cut up into like cube sized pieces, but then I need to actually coat it and get it all ready to go kind of deal. And then I can go ahead and cook that and then cook the sauce and then mix it all together. So in regards to the ingredients, I can just do a quick breakdown of what ingredients I have that I'm working with today. So we have obviously our chicken already cut up and put into pieces. Then two eggs that I'm going to whisk up to actually have ready for my batter, and then some flour, I think I use 10 tablespoons of flour, and then cornstarch here. Then I have things like garlic salt right here, pepper, salt, paprika, and that is basically everything I'm using to actually coat my my chicken. And then for my sauce is a pretty simple combination between soy sauce, you have some brown sugar, ketchup, chili sauce, then some honey, some Chinese white vinegar, and then some sesame oil. So all of this gets put together after you've done the chicken kind of deal. Is really, really simple. And then afterwards, I have some scallions and some sesame seeds that I can just, you know, kind of sprinkle on top. So yeah, with that being said, let me get started with putting this all together. Again, this is my first time doing any of this stuff, so it is just going to be kind of going through the flow of it, seeing if it's actually better than it would be to, you know, just order from, you know, your regular Chinese place and just kind of go from there. So that's kind of where I've always been kind of curious as to just being able to you know, make something from scratch and actually be able to maybe in reality just save myself a little bit of money instead of just ordering from Chinese kind of deal, which can be expensive if you're just doing that all the time. And yeah, just in general, I mean, this is one of those things, like even just like whisking some eggs. I really haven't done a lot of cooking ever in my life. And so this is just all just very much new to me kind of deal. So it is something just going to be going with the flow. And it's just one of those, it's also one of those things that I've always just been curious if it's just worth exploring, just doing it for a first time. Alrighty, I think that's whisked up enough. I've never really fried anything per se. I've done like a little bit of frying here and there, maybe of like some flounder fish when I was much younger, but that was with me doing it with my family, and they mostly did all the work. This is the first time I'm actually just kind of doing it on my own from scratch. So like I said, so we have the eggs whisked and stuff like that, and now we need to actually kind of season this flour, and that's where all these different ingredients, where I have the salt, the pepper, and the paprika, and the garlic salt. And so literally I'm just going to add those in with my flour right now. Kind of deal. Each of these is half a teaspoon. I should have said that a little bit more about the portions and stuff like that. So this is 10 tablespoons of flour, then 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, regular salt, and pepper. So, and then literally I'm just gonna go in and get a new fresh fork actually, and just kind of mix that all in together kind of deal. And that's going to be the actual flour that I'm going to use as basically to bread the whole entire chicken. All right, so that's pretty nice and mixed up. Now, the process, I always get this confused, and I had to double check like 5-6 times myself. The process of doing this, where it's first taking the chicken, putting it in the cornstarch, then putting it into the eggs, then putting it into the flour. And I usually would mix up those two in regards to the flour and the cornstarch. So for at least sesame chicken to get it nice and crispy, that is the process that I'm going to go and do. And literally, I'm just going to go in a row and kind of put this all together kind of deal. And that'll pretty much have the chicken ready to go, that we can put it onto the stove and kind of start cooking it up. Now, so literally just taking pieces of chicken, making sure that it's completely covered up, and then putting it in the egg yolk, and then from there putting it onto the flour. And after it's all said and done, it should look like this in regards to good even coating kind of deal. You don't want to try to overcoat it, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just kind of get it layered up on each and every side, and then move on to the next piece. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the whole entire thing, which I'm probably going to accelerate this a little bit so you don't watch me just taking care of chicken like for the next 10-15 minutes. But it's just, you know, the same kind of process, a rinse and repeat kind of deal until you get all the chicken nice and coated. One thing I did notice is your hands do get very sticky, very coated.
You need one wet, one dry.
I need one wet, one dry.
Wet hand, one dry hand.
I have one dry hand. What does the dry hand do? I'm having my wife help me, because I'm completely useless and she's the actual cook.
Dry ingredients for a dry hand. So cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
Drop it into the egg.
Drop it in the egg.
Use your wet hand.
Use my wet hand to take it out of that, and then put it in the flour, and then use the dry to. There is apparently a process, and that is why I'm just this is my literal first time. You can tell this is my first time doing this, because literally my wife just had to interject because she's listening in the living room while I'm doing this and judging me the whole entire time, by the way. Like she's laughing. I know she's laughing at me. Little bits of judgment, but dang it, I don't cook that often. She's the one that mainly cooks, which I always appreciate very much. But at the same time, yeah, I need to be better about cooking. That's what this has taught me, is I need to be better about cooking. And she's probably saying, yes, finally, like he's actually going to listen to me in regards to helping out with cooking in the kitchen. So there is, okay, I can see what you're saying. There is a method to it where you have one hand that's wet and then one hand that's dry, so that you're not necessarily getting your hands completely sticky and just, just not being able to do anything. There is a method to this madness. As she laughs at me. Yeah, no, that is much easier. I was wondering how the hell like chefs do it so quickly, and I'm here like a blithering idiot trying to do this stuff and getting mocked while I'm doing this. I hope on the camera you can hear my wife laughing at me in the background. Just gonna do a few of them in each and then move it over. I'm glad I didn't start the skillet just yet, because this is taking way longer than I anticipated. Probably because this is, again, the first time I'm ever doing it, so it's taking me longer. And probably also because I'm just not skilled with cooking. Which is kind of ironic that this is the third video I'm doing of this new channel, and it's me trying to cook something for the first time. But that is the whole point of this channel, is me cooking and trying it out for the first time, seeing how it goes. If you're a person that doesn't tend to cook anything of this sort, like on your regular day-to-day basis, but you're curious, hey, how would it go? This is how it would go, just like this. And keep forgetting to do dry hand and wet hand, and now my hands are just smeared all over the place. as my wife laughs at my struggle. I should have put a mic on her. Next time I'll put a mic on her. And here I was thinking like, oh, I did so good. I got all the ingredients out. I was like gonna be able to just feel like knocking this out, no problem. This is gonna be super easy. Cooking is easy. I can totally do this. No. This is more laborious than I care to admit. Dry hand, wet hand. Problem is that even if I use the dry to like move the piece of chicken, the chicken is wet, and then that makes my dry hand wet. Gotta practice, she says. God damn it! I used my wet hand on the dry thing. Damn it! Oh God.
No, you should stop.
I can't help it. I get nervous on camera. I've done probably, at this point, not probably, I have done over 250 videos on my old channel. So even though this is a new channel, and I've like, you would think after so many times of being on camera and being able to like just talking about different things, that my nervousness would just have gone away. I would just be completely normal in front of a camera. But that is not the reality. I still get nervous in front of a camera. I sound like I get nervous in front of a camera. And I talk fast because I'm in front of a camera. So if you're watching this and you're just like, man, this is, what am I even watching? Right now, you're watching somebody do something for the first time. That's one thing. But aside from that, this is just more of watching me epically fail on trying to make a tasty dish. Actually, no, I'm not going to say epically fail yet, because who knows, this might actually turn out pretty decent. What I really need to do is look at different freaking cooking channels and how they do their cooking, because it's not like how you see it on TV kind of deal. They edit the crud out of that, and they have experts that edit all of it instead of just me. And they come out great. If you can hear that, that's my cat in the background that I did not even notice that she's behind me. So that is our kitty cat, and I don't know if you can see that she's on top of the fridge now. Hey, babe, can you do me a favor? Would you get me more cornstarch? That bowl. Whoa! Just use the whole entire thing in cornstarch.
It's cheap.
It is kind of cheap, so she buried a piece of chicken that I had in there.
Well, now it's treasure hunt.
It is a treasure hunt for the piece of chicken. Alrighty, so we have all the chicken finally coated and everything. That took a little bit longer than I expected it to, but that is all out of the way. So we can actually go ahead and start with the actual cooking process of this chicken. Now for cooking, you would usually use a wok. I do not have a wok at this current moment, so we are going to be just using a pan skillet to actually cook that. But generally you want to be using a wok if you have one. Now to actually cook this, we just need to actually set the skillet to be nice and hot. It has to be hot enough to basically fry all the different sides of the chicken as you're cooking it. And basically once it's finished in cooking, then we can put it onto the side and get ready for, setting up our sauce. Now basically in order to actually fry this, all I'm using is just simple vegetable oil, just enough to coat the bottom of that skillet pan. I probably need to use a little bit more because I'm not actually using a wok, just so that it is covering, at least having a nice little layer on the bottom where all the chicken can actually kind of go ahead and sizzle. So we're ready to go in putting this chicken into the pan. It's nice and hot, and let's see how this freaking goes and I don't burn myself. Okay, that's not bad. It didn't explode, so that's good. let's see. Now, originally, I was gonna use this bowl here to have the chicken and stuff like that. I'm just gonna instead lay it out on the skillet real quick, and then I'll clean this later. Now generally, I mean, this would be something that you would take like 1 or 2 minutes to cook on both sides. It's at least kind of looking crispy, but it's not looking like any kind of sesame chicken just yet. Literally just flipping this over. Nah. It's not like a golden brown per se, it's more like a light brown with some burnt ends. As my wife again laughs at me at my description. I'm trying to give live view of my epic failure of this, because this is turning I'm just gonna say it. My wife was giving me some constructive criticism that I was sounding like I was teaching, which in fact, like before earlier in this video, like I knew what I was doing. And in fact, that is true. I tend to like try to act like I know what I'm doing, but in full honesty, I have no idea what I'm doing. And this is slowly turning into exactly what you thought it would probably be for first time trying to cook sesame chicken, or cook anything that's fried for that matter. And the wife actually did just bring in the regular Chinese food we usually order from, and the sesame chicken that I'm going to be comparing this to, which I don't know. The more and more I look at this, the more I'm like, this is not looking that good.
And you forgot the sauce.
And I still have to make the sauce. I haven't even made the sauce yet. I do kind of want to taste one of these pieces of chicken. Probably will in a second here, just to get an idea of how it actually tastes. See, the wife's helping out. She's gonna cut it for me because she's awesome like that. She's probably also checking to see that it's cooked thoroughly.
It's cooked.
It's cooked at least. Hey, it's cooked. That's the first thing that's good, is that I'm not serving raw chicken. Not that she's eating any of this. I'm strictly eating this.
I ordered Whataburger.
She ordered Whataburger, and I am just going to compare this Chinese food that I'm making as a non-Chinese person, I guess. Wow, that sounds really written. We're gonna cut that part out. I thought this chicken would cook off pretty quickly, but I'm slowly realizing, or quickly realizing, the amount of chicken that I'm cooking is probably, I probably should have used a bigger pan. All right, let me try one of these pieces of chicken. It's not bad. It's got the crispiness that I'm expecting. Okay. Well, not crispiness. It's more like a McNugget, actually. Yeah, bigger skillet. Because once I actually go and cook everything, I'm gonna want to cook it all in the same skillet, and not this little itty bitty skillet that I'm killing myself now with. But the chicken is actually looking at least half decent for now. Yep. This is about going this is going about as good as you would think it would be going. But wait, there's still the sauce. I can still get some redemption from the sauce. She is not impressed. Alrighty, so we've done all the chicken. Now it's all cooked through, thankfully. And it's a total mess in here. There's so much oil splashed all over the place, and I'm going to have to do a lot of cleaning that definitely my wife is not going to help me on, because this is my mistake and I have to own it. And not by mistake, this is not a mistake doing this. It's more of learning how to do it for the first time kind of deal, and realizing that I can't really do it that well. But we still have one thing left. We still have the actual sauce that we need to put together. So we're gonna go ahead and do that in the large skillet so that we can go ahead and yeah, make the actual sauce, then actually put the chicken and get it all put together. So let's just move this oil out of the way for the time being. So we have a nice hot saucepan. Now again, I'm using just all the ingredients that I had mentioned before, the brown sugar, the soy sauce, all that stuff. That should be enough to cover all of this chicken. It doesn't seem like it would be enough. I think it feels like I should have more, but we'll have to play it by ear kind of deal and see how it goes. But at least to start off with, yeah, I just need to just throw this in there and get this all cooked and reduced down. Not gonna lie, this made a ton of freaking smoke trying to do this, so. Alrighty, let's get this chicken in there and see how this goes. My wife is laughing at me. I'm laughing at myself. This is indeed turning into a first time try because it's not looking anywhere near as good as I thought it was going to. Like, it's getting coated. It's kind of looking more and more like a sesame chicken, kind of. It's got the right color. That's about all that's going for it. It's got the right color. You see, I'm gonna actually taste the sauce and see how it is that on the spoon. That does taste like sesame chicken. It's got the sweetness. That's actually not too bad. That's actually a lot better than I thought. And initially when I was looking at it, I was like, no way this is gonna come out how I'm thinking it's gonna come out. But that is essentially the sesame chicken done. Now, I know how to actually make good white rice, but I didn't make any white rice this time. I'm actually going to just use the white rice from the Chinese place because as you can see, this already took way too long to do. And the focus I wanted to be really on the sesame chicken and not necessarily the rice. So let's get these in some plates and show you how it actually looks. Alrighty guys, so after all of that, we finally finished making our sesame chicken and comparing it to the Chinese sesame chicken that I usually get from my local Chinese place. And yeah, as you saw in the video, it actually was not as easy as I thought it was going to be to just try to make it from scratch. But I have made it from scratch and I'm actually pretty proud of it. It looks like sesame chicken. I'll bet at the beginning, it really did not feel like I was gonna be able to pull anything off. But then near the end, it actually pulled off pretty decently. It's got a little bit of a darker color than my regular Chinese sesame chicken, which has more of like that orangey type look. So I am pretty curious how it's going to taste. So let's start off with the Chinese sesame chicken, just so I can give a baseline of where to go from there to mine. So yeah, I mean, my sesame chicken or not my sesame chicken, the sesame chicken from my Chinese place that I go to, I mean, they make a pretty bomb sesame chicken. It's got a little bit of that crunchiness, crispiness to it that tastes really good. Just tastes like Chinese food, how you have it. So it's a little bit heavy on the sauce, which I actually kind of don't mind. I like it being a little bit heavier of a sauce. I am curious comparing this Chinese food to the sesame chicken that I just made. So let me try my sesame chicken now and see how that goes. I took a giant bite I should have just taken like a smaller bite, and I really didn't. But it's not bad. It's half decent.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks decent. So, the sauce is lighter. Like the sauce on my sesame chicken that I made is lighter. I don't know if it's mostly because I didn't use as much sauce, but it doesn't have that heaviness kind of deal. It tastes a little bit more fresh, I would say. But yeah, not necessarily too bad. I would invite you to try it, so it's not just me, but I know you don't like sesame chicken.
I don't like sesame chicken. My suggestion for next time, anytime I do a recipe like this with a sauce, I always double what the sauce that they tell me to make.
See, I don't know that.
I always double it. I just tend to find, first, we like our foods a little saucier.
We do.
But also, I would rather have a little bit too much than not have enough and have to make a second batch. In these types of recipes, I always just double the sauce.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't realize that. And it was one of those things where I was like, man, when I put it literally in the actual saucepan, it like exploded with a huge smoke in front of my face, and I was just like, oh gosh.
Let your pan cool down first?
I did not let my pan cool down first.
You need to do that when you're doing sauces and stuff.
Is that one?
Your
oh, okay.
pan was
I had it
set it like more of a high, right? Like
I did.
High.
I had it set at a high.
And then when you're doing your sauces, it's going to be more of like a medium low.
So I literally almost killed myself then. I think I almost killed myself because it got very, very smoky, and I was just like, ooh.
There's honey in it.
Yeah, there was honey as part of the recipe.
So there's a lot of sugar in that.
And I put brown sugar also. There's brown sugar in it also.
You threw it in at a very high heat. So when you're switching temps from a high to a low, you've got to give it time to cool down. The pan itself.
The pan has to cool down and then cook it there. So that probably
because you want more when you're just doing the sauce, mixing it in, and then tossing the food in it. You want more of like a simmer type heat.
That's fair, yeah. And it did say to like simmer it down to reduce it down, but
right. So a simmer is more of a low heat.
Yeah, that I understood, and I did bring it down to a lower heat. I just, let myself inhale a whole bunch of smoke at the beginning because
thermodynamics.
Yeah, thermodynamics. It's funny. I'm an aerospace engineer somehow, but yeah, things like that I don't realize when I'm actually. I don't think about.
It's hot. You have to let it cool down.
Yeah. So, no, not too bad. I mean, I don't mind this chicken. I don't mind it. Am I gonna ever do it again?
Doesn't look any worse than my first fried chicken.
True. I don't know if I would ever do it again, though. Yeah. We're just gonna order Chinese food from now on.
I mean, that's fair because I don't eat sesame chicken to begin with, so you'd only be cooking it for yourself.
And I made so much sesame chicken, I made way more than I meant to.
And the Chinese place had it BOGO.
And the Chinese place because we wanted to do the comparison, had BOGO for specifically sesame chicken.
Only like a quarter of one.
And I can't eat all that sesame chicken.
I can.
It's kind of funny because I asked my wife for help on a lot of this stuff, but at the same time, I wanted me to kind of just explore it for the first time. So I didn't ask her about, hey, like, what do you think of this recipe or anything? I literally just chose this recipe online with no other thing. Like, I just followed it to the letter.
And then just asked me what we already had in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that it's gonna be perfect. And I think next time I might just have her help me, even though it will be the first time I ever do it. But she might kind of help carry me along a little bit, so it's not just me completely floundering. But
oh, I kind of like this. I can just give the tips at the end.
Actually, oh yeah,
Yeah?
I think we'll just do that then. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah. So in hindsight, so she's just gonna let me struggle, enjoy watching me struggle, and then
Tell him what he did wrong.
tell me what I did wrong when it comes to food. But I think that is a great spot
I
for.
think you did a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think this is a pretty good spot to stop this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please check out any of our other videos, and we will see you next time. So take care.